Hey guys, it's Emanuel. I'm out here in Las Vegas, your Emotion Code Practitioner, and just wanted to do a really quick video on the question, what is the emotion code? And so I'm excited to talk about it because this book changed my life. In fact, I even wrote in the back of it, July 4th, 2015 is when I read this. And ever since then, I haven't been the same because I didn't know the power behind energy healing. So some of you guys who are watching this video, maybe someone has sent this to you. Maybe they were a client of an Emotion Code Practitioner, or maybe an Emotion Code Practitioner sent this video to you so you can have a brief explanation of what it is. And so it'll save him or her some time. So when you meet with them, you kind of know what to expect. And so here's the thing. Obviously, we're all energy, right? So it starts with, if you look beyond our skin, beyond our bones, beyond our cells, there's energy and it's vibrating, right? And what happens is your body also has different frequencies, and your organ actually creates this frequency, like these emotions, and we're supposed to kind of feel these emotions, or they're supposed to kind of go on its way. But what happens is sometimes if you feel a very intense emotion, so highly activated emotion, like deep sadness, deep anger, different types of emotion like that, what happens is that it actually gets stuck in your body. Now these energies look like the size of a tennis ball or the size of a cantaloupe, and they're lodged, dozens of them, everywhere in your body. We could have hundreds of them. And what happens is there's four things that happen. Number one is that it actually starts tearing away at the tissue of the organ. So for example, anger, bitterness, guilt, hatred, resentment is all around the liver area, or in your heart area, it's kind of like, you put love and it doesn't come back, or effort doesn't come back, or losing hope or abandonment issues. Those are all heart areas. People who have those emotions that come up a lot, they start having heart issues. And so what's really interesting is, and you can also notice too, if you drink alcohol, what comes out usually? Anger, bitterness, guilt, resentment, hatred. So what's really interesting is that these trapped emotions that are like these little energies are kind of stuck in your body. And number one, like I said, is it starts tearing away at your tissue. Number two, it actually messes with your field. We all have this energetic field around us, and what happens is it kind of warps a little bit. So you start your body's kind of lopsided because you have all these different energies that are kind of inside of you, and this circular energy that was around you now has dents in it. It's warped a little bit, so you start getting some pain in your neck area, your upper back area, lower back area. You start having just different pains in your body, which is basically just a trapped emotion that's basically sending out a frequency of pain if it's neglected there long enough. Number three is that it actually makes you very, very reactive. So what I mean by that is that if you felt sadness when you were 6 years old, 7 years old, or maybe even like 2 years old, basically what happens is you can actually, it comes back to you very, very easily. So you become very reactive to that emotion. And so people, sometimes when they get depression or anxiety, they think that, that their current state is because of some things that happened recently or whatever, but it actually could have happened way before then, where you felt sadness or depression or anxiety earlier on, and your body just keeps reliving it. So a lot of practitioners say it's like your body's living in the past, even though you're currently living in the present. And so what's really interesting about the emotion code is what we use applied kinesiology. So what is applied kinesiology? It's muscle testing. And so when you typically if you would meet with someone, you'd be pushing down on their hands and asking certain questions. And so that's the way we kind of examine people and see, like, for example, if you have pain in your body, we can ask you, is it because of trapped emotions? Your body would say yes. Okay, so we would kind of like focus in on what trapped emotions are causing pain. Then we would release it using a magnet. So very simply, like this is a Niken magnet that I use. And what I do is if I'm working with somebody out of state, I actually use it on my governing meridian. So I would, I would basically just use it on my head, and basically what it does is there's certain swipes that you need to do. Like for example, 3 is somebody who has trapped emotions. If it's an inherited emotion, we use it for 10. So what is an inherited emotion? Well, we might as well go into that. So there's trapped emotions that can come from 2 places. Trapped emotions can come from yourself, like you felt the emotion yourself, okay? And then actually it's 3 places. Projected, which means that somebody around you felt the emotion, and then you kind of caught it. So if there's like your father was really angry at you, and then now all of a sudden you have this trapped emotion of anger, and then it's easy for you to feel anger over and over and over again. So that's called projection. I believe when I work with a lot of clients that from age 1 to 10, there's a lot of projection going on, because if you think about it, you're around your family a lot, so it makes perfect sense. And then there's also something called inherited emotions. Some of you guys who are dealing with certain emotions that you really can't control don't even know that maybe you're something your mother or your father passed down to you, and then even they were dealing with it. Maybe their grandparents, and then it kind of goes beyond generations. I remember Dr. Bradley Nelson said that I think the highest it's gone to, I think in his practice, is around 80 people, like generations above. And so I find it very, very interesting that in the Scientific American back in 2015, they talk about victims of the Holocaust and Auschwitz, and that it passed down, this PTSD, depression, anxiety, it passed down from generation to generation to these kids. And for some reason, they have PTSD, they have depression, they have anxiety, kind of a strange phenomenon. But in the emotion code, it's real. It's basically, we recognize that inherited emotions are real. And so emotion code practitioners can remove that from them and be able to remove that from them. And it goes all the way up the source, even if they're passed away. Kind of incredible. And then also their children too. If the practitioner has the intention to remove it from their children simultaneously, it can go down and upward up the line. So I think that's very fascinating. We've done that before. I've even told the clients when I work with them and I remove an inherited emotion to ask their parents how they feel. And sometimes that day the mother feels a little different than usual, or a little happier than usual, because we remove something from them as well. So I love the fact that you can, every time I mention, we can help out your mother, we can help out your father, there's just this beautiful glow that comes from the child that they're like, wow, I didn't know they were suffering with that. There's actually almost like they acquire compassion for something that their parents are going through, and that there's some way that they can help them. It's really a touching sort of connecting moment. And now the last thing I want to tell you is, so Emanuel, what are the benefits of removing trapped emotions? What's the difference between Reiki, theta healing, all these different types of healing? So what? What about the emotion code? So very simply, here are the 4 benefits of releasing trapped emotions. And I'm going to kind of recap on some things you already heard, but number 1 is, you want to write down, if you're taking notes, is proactive, not reactive. So what happens is, once you start removing more and more trapped emotions, let's say unsupported is an emotion, you feel unsupported. Let's say you have 8 of those in your life. What you start noticing is that you'll feel unsupportive, and then unsupported, that emotion, but then it'll bounce off you. You won't feel it for an hour, 5 hours, or ruin the day. You'll start noticing that you become very proactive, it bounces off you, and then you're kind of over it. So what does that do for your life? You become more proactive, more productive in your life with your family, your partner, your job, your business. So that's number 1. How amazing would it be that whenever you get some type of emotional brick that kind of gets in your way, that if finally you can just let go of it very, very quickly, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. That'd be pretty impressive. So that's number 1, what it does. Number 2, you can also release pain or some imbalance in your body. So that's very self-explanatory, right? Number 3, here's the big one that I love is it neutralizes your past. And so what I mean by that is that you can actually look back at your past, remember exactly what happened, remember the emotion you felt, but you won't get affected in the current state. For example, I had a client of mine that she got married and got a divorce after 30 years, knew the gentleman for 42 years. Can you imagine how heartbreaking it would be if you had to break up with someone after 30 years? And then here's the sad part, is that she had a relationship with her daughter, and the daughter keeps bringing him up, this ex-husband. And obviously, you know how hurtful it would be to listen to things about him or whatever. And I remember after I worked with her that at the end of it, she was texting me. She says, you know what? She brought my ex again, but this time around, I didn't feel any resentment, any anger, any bitterness. I was seriously, and I even asked questions to pry at myself to see what's going on with me. I don't feel anything. And now she was able to move on to a new relationship or move on with her life. So that was a big testimonial to me that, wow, it really does neutralize your past. If you've been a rape victim, an abused victim, or PTSD, or any type of abuse that you've received, imagine being able to look at it and just say, I'm in complete peace with it. And the last one, it gives relief to that area of the body, the organ that it was kind of tearing up at the end. So there's a lot of benefits of removing trapped emotions. And I just feel like it's the core. I feel like, if you look behind me, there's so many self-development books. There's so many, things that you could do in your life, like EFT tapping or NLP, and there's, reaching out to therapists, psychologists, things like that. But what I found out is, in the end, I'm starting to ask myself this question, which is, no matter how good these books are, no matter how good these seminars are, seminars that I've been to before, Landmark Forum and different things like that, I've noticed that at the end of the day, do you still have trapped emotions? Did you remove this energy from your body? And the answer is no. So it still makes you reactive, and it still makes you traumatized by that past. And then number two is, my second question is, do you have a heart wall? I'm not going to go into what the heart wall is. I wanted to make this video just 15 minutes, really short and concise. And basically, the heart wall is the greatest discovery in energy healing. And I'm not going to go into, there's another video called Everything You Need to Know About the Heart Wall, short version. So look for that. I talk about it in like 10 minutes, And so I'm not going to go into it, but let's just say it's the greatest discovery in energy healing. And that's only within the Emotion Code. So if you are looking into the Emotion Code, just know that Dr. Bradley Nelson claimed that this discovery of the heart wall, which basically, number one, improves your immune system and energy. Number two, helps your heart to find its mission faster, gives you more, takes away the desensitized feeling from your heart, so you feel more love influence, and then acquire wealth and wealth and basically abundance in your life. I mean, these 5 things could definitely change your life. Can we all agree with that? So that's the heart wall. And then, I said, well, Dr. Bradley Nelson created the Emotion Code. So of course he's going to say it's the greatest discovery. But then I talked to a Reiki practitioner for over 20 years, a master one, and she said, no, when you mentioned this heart wall, this is the thing that's holding me back. And I've worked with dozens and dozens of clients in 20 years of practice, but I've never heard something so amazing as the heart wall and the discovery of it. So, again, if you do want to know about that, watch the other video called Everything You Need to Know About the Heart Wall, short version. It's actually on this YouTube page. And so anyway, I just wanted to share with you real quick what the Emotion Code is. It's a life-changing thing. And I tell people at the end, how would you like this year to finally say, you know what? My heart has no restrictions behind it. You're actually behind this wall. How would you like to be behind this wall? And the second question would be, how would you like to officially look back at your past and not be affected by it anymore? You'll be very surprised by the people that I work with, that when you're driving in a car and you look back in that rearview mirror, your hands get sweaty when you look in your past. Let's say all your past was sitting in the back seat. You actually have sweaty palms and you can't drive, you can't focus, you can't reach your full potential, you can't put your car into full throttle. And now when I start clearing their past, it's almost like that those passengers are still there, but they're really quiet. It's really dimmed in the background, they're almost like in the back of the bus. And you basically, you see them, but you don't get affected by them anymore. And so it's very, very powerful. Like I said, we work with people that have depression, anxiety, PTSD, and it's hope for them, because all it is this huge wall that's basically not assisting them in feeling very grounded, connected to this world. And so as soon as you start removing that wall, anxiety goes away, depression goes away, PTSD goes away. So it's a very, very powerful method, and that's within the Emotion Code. No other mode of healing has the clearing of the heart wall. So whoever's showing this video to you, or whoever sent this to you, there's only a few, 3,000-4,000 practitioners in the world, so there's a reason why you're watching this video. Maybe it's your time to know that there is a wall in front of your heart. And usually most Emotion Code practitioners will offer a complimentary session, so that way you can experience what it feels like to remove these trapped emotions. We do that because we want, like I said, the tongues in our mouth to match the ones in our shoes. We want to show you how we can relieve your pain 30, 50, 70% within 20 minutes. If you start losing pain that you've had for 5, 10, 15, 20 years in a session of an hour, obviously there's something to what we're saying. So hopefully you enjoyed this, and hopefully you understand that there's the Emotion Code and there's also the Body Code. It's a higher system, but obviously that deals with serious body issues. Fibromyalgia, rheumatoid arthritis, autoimmune diseases. It helps remove the imbalances to help the client heal faster. And then also we have the emotion code, which is more of a spiritual, emotional realm. And also maybe helping you with removing pain that you have. So I wanted to make this video less than 15 minutes. Hopefully you enjoyed this. And again, you want to thank Dr. Bradley Nelson. He's the great mentor, the discoverer of the emotion code. And you want to read this book. This book changed my life. And so hopefully you enjoyed this. If you like this video, definitely subscribe below. And we're going to be making 5 videos a week and giving you more information on energy healing, bioenergetic healing. So I look forward to talking to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.